Yeah, Jake, let me just give you a gut check here about what we are hearing here as we've been sitting here reporting from the Harris headquarters. And I think the operative word right now is silence. There's not a lot being said because the Harris team appears to be searching for bright spots in the map as these results very, very slowly come in.
Searching for bright spots and also very aware of the warning signs throughout the electorate.
Bring in our chief election analyst, Tom Connell, and we've even had Scott Morrison calling it. He says it's over, Trump's won. What's your latest assessment, though, in terms of the numbers? Because obviously we have to take each state by state as they come in, the votes, and count every vote. What's your read on it right now?
That it's increasingly likely Donald Trump would win, but it's not over the line just yet. Let's have a look, first of all, at the battleground states and the issue here for Kamala Harris. You can see here, Donald Trump at the moment is leading in all of them where there is vote. Nevada, we don't have any vote in just yet. I'm going to go through where I think these contests are at and then take you through the scenario on what would have to happen for a Kamala Harris victory from here. Now, here's the first one, 2.7%. You can see it's nearly 90% North Carolina. I cannot see any way the Democrats win this. Why? Because of the vote remaining. The big counties that favour the Democrats are nearly totally exhausted. So even though that margin is 2.7, it might not close much at all. That might be about where it sits. The vote to come is the key exercise. What's the vote to come versus the margin? I can't see the Democrats any way they make that bet. So I think North Carolina is going to be a hold. So let's just note that one. The other one, Georgia, and of course North Carolina, when I say hold, we saw last time around Donald Trump won that state. Georgia, 2.7%. You can see here, 91%. When we were looking at 88%, it was about that margin as well. The problem here is the vote remaining will favour the Democrats, but it's a little bit bouncy. There's still some Republican vote out there as well. And as we've been saying, the mail-in ballot that saved the Dems last time is much smaller, 1.3 million. It might be more like 300,000. And there you go. I'm hearing North Carolina has been called now as well. So we're saying, I said I felt like that was the case. I was just sort of being polite, I suppose you'd call it, Kieran. So Donald Trump wins North Carolina on the vote to come. So where that sits us in terms of our scenario map, if we colour them in, let's have a look. Donald Trump there, he's got, I might do a little reset here because I think we've got a few that we didn't intend to get in there right. So Donald Trump, he gets North Carolina, he gets Georgia as well, and he also gets Iowa from that, which we called about half an hour ago. So he gets to 251. So the scenario from here, I said before, I don't see promising signs early on. We're not calling Arizona. I don't see promising signs. We haven't seen a single vote out of Nevada, so that'd be getting ahead of ourselves. Then we get to the blue wall. And in this scenario, if any of them fall at that point, it's going to be a Donald Trump victory. You can see it's just a question of how much because of the amount of electoral college votes. So how are they looking? How are those 3 seats looking, or 3 states looking? Let's have a look. Michigan, first of all, and this is the problem. You'll see in all of these ones, Kamala Harris is trailing by several percent, 5.1%, 38% counted. Michigan's really hard to figure out. The voting patterns are going to be a little bit different to last time. What we know with Michigan is Wayne County is the biggest county by far. Only 15% is in so far. We're expecting a big batch of that. So far, Kieran, Kamala Harris is going worse compared to Joe Biden by about 10 points on that county. So it's a big county, not much is done. If it comes in, and it's looking a lot better for Kamala Harris in the first batch, this will tighten and we'll say, right, Michigan's going down to the wire. So that has to go right for her. So that's step 1. So Michigan is looking decent for Donald Trump, but we need to see more of that vote, in particular in Wayne County. Then we get to Pennsylvania. Again, note, look who's trailing, Kamala Harris. 3.5% is the margin at the moment. The problem so far for Kamala Harris is she has been slightly underperforming. So 3.5%, what vote is there to come? That city vote, the bigger city vote, will help her close that gap. It's a bit too early at 77% counted to get a good calculation on that. You'd much rather be Donald Trump in that scenario. But this state right now is certainly facing some uncertainty. So you'd say you'd rather be Donald Trump, but it's not over the line. Then we get as well to Wisconsin. So again, we're seeing this is the problem, 3.3% behind. Less counted, so more hope here for the Kamala Harris camp. And they're actually talking up, in particular, turnout in big cities here in Philly and Wisconsin. So that's the hope. The turnout there is going to help her get over the line, turnout around the urban areas. So the problem, though, when we get to the Harris camp, what does she have to do? She's got to win 3 of these. We've seen North Carolina. That's called now. That's done. She has to hold Pennsylvania, Wisconsin and Michigan. That's her path. She's trailing in all of them. So it's possible, but in all of those 3, Kieran, you'd say Donald Trump at this stage is the favourite. So she needs to achieve 3 upsets from here. We're going to keep a close eye. We're hoping for Wayne County to give us a really good indication in a moment in Michigan on whether that race will tighten.
Tom Connell, thank you.